from the Big Apple that never sleeps, here they are, your Edge of Wonder Zen friends Ben and Rob, live from New York.
And we're live.
Sorry, my phone was going off. How you guys doing? Well, there is a lot going on in news.
So much going on that I actually feel awkward. Some of the things
kind of
that
do
drop
too, actually.
are so weird.
They are very strange. Like everything that has been going on, and with everything going on, and then like Twitter
Twitter has been bizarre.
we got hacked.
Yeah.
Like, sure.
Yeah, sure, is right. And then all of this, Agra stuff. That's what I'm calling Chrissy Teigen.
It's like Agra.
Agra from, what do you call it?
What is that?
Dark Crystal.
Oh, dude. But Agra is like a good person in Dark
Yeah,
Crystal.
but she looks just like her.
She does.
It's like, they're like twins or something. I'm serious. Whatever's inside of that thing, whatever is inside of her vessel, whatever that is,
It's weird, man.
It looks like that.
I've
seen the weirdest crap.
I agree. You know, and well, something's got to be photoshopped. Either her model photos are either photoshopped or, I mean, it's not her. You know. Anyway, we'll get into all of that.
Yeah, she does not make me want to eat nachos, man.
Someone's like, Skexy is what she looks like.
Yeah. Well, she is.
She is.
But she does resemble
Agra. Yeah, even though Agra was like a good person in the movie. Yeah, but that is really funny though.
Yeah.
It's really funny. So yeah, there's so much going on. And then we got all this pedo stuff to get into.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's a tremendous amount.
Everything going on.
I'm just hoping that
Tom Hanks stuff, more Wayfair stuff. I mean, it's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
and you guys out there did an amazing job of, man, it's just like, you know, before trying to do all this, like even just a year ago, you know, it's just like us kind of compiling and doing different sites, and now it's like everyone's doing such a great job of sharing stuff. So it's like this is
yeah,
been
you know,
amazing.
the environment on Twitter has changed dramatically
It
since
has.
8chan went down.
Yeah.
A lot of people got onto Twitter, and Twitter became ground zero for this entire movement. And
It sure has.
man, it's like it's where everything's breaking right now. You know.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Judith Rose, who
Oh yeah.
who like did the really big awakening and everything, and Zach Voorhees reached out to her, and then she like retweeted that or like posted that and everything. So I mean, if you guys don't know,
Yeah,
be
tell
sure
them what date she posted.
Well, okay. Hey, Derek, I didn't post it in our live doc, but just go on to Edge of Wonder Twitter thing, and so if you guys don't know, Judith Rose, her handle is RudeJude91 on Twitter, and she came out recently. She said she was like a big left kind of person, and this whole thing just kind of woke her up.
She's just a super liberal, like most of us before we started realizing what was going on. You know?
Really, a lot of us really kind of, I mean, that kind of thinking. I mean, again, I hate to say liberal, conservative. It's really just like looking for the truth, and that's what I mean. She kind of like woke to the truth, and Zach Voorhees reached out to her, and she was just so excited, and she was like, I saw you on Edge of Wonder, and I was like, that's crazy. So we retweeted this, and then so anyway, big shout out to her, and it's great to have somebody like that on our side.
Yeah, it's great to have as many people as possible, you know, waking up to the truth. I think it's a testament to everybody's hard work and red pilling everyone. So when you think that your parents aren't listening, your friends aren't listening, like actually it's not true. Like everything, it's planting a seed. They're only going to be able to deny for so long before the gigantic tsunami hits, you know, land. So just hang in there and hold your ground, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just posted her Twitter page in the chat, so if people are interested. So.
Yeah, hey Ben, you know, something happened weird today. You remember when it was like maybe almost a year ago, when we had a guest on, and we were talking about how basically the Pussycat Dolls were like they were just doing weird things behind the scenes.
Yeah, so I vaguely remember that. I don't remember all the details about it.
So basically, I didn't even know that this article had published or that one of the Pussycat Dolls had gone on Twitter with this stuff. But basically, you can pull it up, yeah. There was several tweets by Kaya, who was a former Pussycat doll. This article is actually from 2017, right? Or sorry, 2017. So anyway, she basically comes out and says that Pussycat Dolls were basically just a prostitution ring in a bunch of her tweets. And what's crazy about it is that she talks about how the singers were abused and they would be passed around among industry execs, right? Yeah. And so the reason why this is extremely significant is because we can then say, like, if this... Like, this is hardcore evidence, right? Now we have this. We have Bella Thorne, who's come out recently saying, or, you know, over the last few years saying that she was abused at Disney. If we compile all of these in one place, like, you cannot deny that pizza fence is something that doesn't exist. Definitely.
And I mean, there's a lot more of them coming out. I mean, and we're hearing the stories. Like, you know, it's interesting. Sarah Ruth Ashcroft posted... well, I can't. No, I mean, I can't remember. It was just she just
probably
had
a long time ago, Derek.
Well, it could have been a couple days ago. I'm not really sure. And I think it was someone's name, like Julie. It might have been like Julie Rose or something. But anyway, she was not who we just named Judith, but it could have been talking about someone from Friends. Actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, I went to her Twitter or her Instagram, and this woman that she named has all these, like, basically pretty much nearly naked photos of herself on the beach and with all these other things. And what I realized, oh, there it is right there. Yeah, or that's part of it. So that was the main, so she mentioned a name, and then the same name is a makeup that these people are selling, like some company is selling. And when I checked on...
That's not a man.
I know, seriously. And when I checked on
that is a man, actually, excuse me.
The Instagram account of the girl...
That looks exactly like Lois Einhorn.
I don't know who that is.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Oh, interesting.
Einhorn is Finkel.
Interesting. Well, anyway, when you went on the woman there, that's it. When I went on her Instagram accounts, it's this like famous girl, kind of a model thing. But what I started thinking is, like, you know, this is probably. I mean, I'm just guessing. You know, I don't want to point fingers out there, but it's probably a prostitution, like selling yourself to, you know, more of the higher up kind of people and things like that. I mean, literally all of her photos were just these, like...
Well, okay, and then take the example of the Pussycat Dolls we were just talking about, right? Someone was only allowed in that band if they were willing to do it. And we have evidence from, you know, that guest that was on the show, right? I'm not going to name names here just because I didn't ask for approval yet, but... So
people are suspecting, you know, we think that might have been Rachel Chandler. That's the girl, actually, that in the last photo that Derek showed. So, and her Instagram is just crazy. Don't go to her Instagram because we can't even show that here.
Yeah.
it's too crazy. So people can look it up themselves if they want to see it. I don't want to get banned off YouTube, even though she's totally open on Instagram and have these like half-naked photos of herself, which, you know, Instagram's like, oh, you can have those, but you know, you talk about something else, and it's like, oh, you can't. It's like, whatever. Anyway, it's just going back to what you're saying. I'm starting to think there's something a lot deeper going on with all of this.
Exactly. And I think it's like, you know, Q Team has kind of mentioned this a bunch, right? Which is like, it's like even us who have been versed in this and have been researching this, like, he's constantly saying, like, you have more than you know.
Yeah, that's true.
I just think, that's like, true. Even us, we're not even aware of how, like, we're also at some point in the tip of that iceberg. Like, it's still this gigantic thing that hasn't even been, you know, uncovered.
I mean, we're just starting to, like, chip away at this and unravel this. So.
And you and I, like, for years, like, literally the last 10 years, we've been like, how is all of this going to work out? Like, how is it that Hollywood could fall? How is it that all of these nefarious things that you and I were aware of were going down, were going to actually, how is the world going to change? Like, we didn't even know it.
Right.
And it's like, this is it.
It's
like,
starting to.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think the most amazing thing is that it's not the media that's aiding it. It's the people waking up that are doing it.
It's like, actually, it's a beautiful.
It is.
It's like,
it is
so beautiful. And like the media could help. they could actually like herald in.
This could be over tomorrow night if all the media started doing their job and reporting on this stuff. But
seriously,
it's just not. But yeah, I think that. But I mean, and I think this is they're kind of at a crossroads, and I think what to do with Twitter. Because
it's like either we take it down and they can't take it down.
Yeah,
right?
because that's how the deep state are communicating.
They use it to communicate. They use it to try to brainwash people. They created this gigantic social media apparatus, and it's now being used and turned against them.
Yeah. So I think I think we're seeing that with Hissy Chrissy, you know. So
Hissy Chrissy. Oh wow. Oh yeah, did you guys like our thumbnail today where we photoshopped those lips from that freaky fish that we're gonna show you guys later? All right, anyway, why don't we just start going down
go ahead.
list?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to cover.
All right, so Derek, pull up this tweet from universities and how the media pushes news from them. Okay, so the reason why this is significant, why I chose this for today's live, is because this is the police chief of one of these universities. I can't remember which one.
West Virginia University.
Yeah, West Virginia University. Okay, so he had some like Zoom meeting where a bunch of people were watching, and he had some like pin-up in the back or on him that was supporting the police, and everyone went nuts at the university, and he had to make an apology for having a pin-up that supported his police. And it was like, it's this really pathetic, really, no offense, but it's a result of I'm not blaming this guy necessarily, he had a ton of pressure on him, but it's like the result of this issue. And you know, I made this kind of quip here on Twitter, which was recent poll finds if you're below age of 24, you're 500% more likely to be a Karen. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, man.
What people don't understand is that, do y'all remember our communism series when we were talking about how communism tries to take over and teach children? They try to basically infiltrate at the university level at the youngest they possibly can, which is why public schools are so effed up leading up to the universities, and the universities have been their indoctrination like headquarters bastoughly. They put only professors usually that they want, and they all are touting this socialist communist line. And many of them, like especially at those big universities where people are going to leave these universities to be influential people, you can bet that the funding that's going into there is coming from these entities. Okay? Now, this is the result. I mean, what does this guy, he's the police chief, like, now he looks like an idiot to all of his police buddies, right? Like, why are you apologizing for that? You know, there's no reason to apologize for you. Like, he probably took this path to serve and to try to help and better people. Now, not everyone is like that. There is a portion of police officers who suck. There's a portion of people out there who suck. But not all police suck. I mean, this guy shouldn't have to apologize.
Does he need to apologize for wearing a badge?
Yeah.
For, like, that? I mean, the whole thing doesn't make any sense. And, you know, there was that NBA guy who was wearing the... Yeah, who had the I don't know if it was a hat that he had on. It was the blue line, the American.
Right.
Yeah, and then he got blasted for it, and he was just like, "Oh, I just thought it was cool, so I was wearing it." So, I don't know. You know, I mean, I would think that he would know what it means, but you know, yeah, that guy. So.
Okay, one of the things that really bothered me about this whole thing, okay, about this story, is that this is the kind of stuff that the media wants to publish and push out there so that all of you at home think that the actual majority of people are like these people.
Yeah.
It's not true. The silent majority is not this way. You can go down a suburban street and look for how many Trump flags there are in that suburban street. I know, because it shocks me every time I'm walking down the street now. Like, it's just not. There's a lot of people that are starting to speak up. It's becoming more normal to speak up. It's going to keep happening, and very soon more and more stars are going to be coming out. It's happening almost every day. Yeah, so don't think that we're the silent minority. We're the silent majority.
That's true.
That's just my understanding. That's what I think, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree.
What's next? You got a UFO thing here.
Yeah, so this is very interesting. So the head of MUFON was arrested for
Holy crap.
child solicitation charges.
Holy moly.
So you guys, we've been pretty quiet on MUFON because I know in the community, you know, people really.
It's a divisive topic.
Yeah, it's a very divisive topic, and there's people that we've even interacted with who worked at MUFON, but from our understanding, MUFON was created by, I mean, this is our understanding, and this is in Bill Cooper's Behold the Pale Horse. He talks specifically about how MUFON was created by essentially the deep state, aka the clown agency, that was specifically for gathering information on the public's knowledge of UFOs. So they can start tracking people, they can see like who's talking about what and everything else. This is why we've never actually trusted MUFON from day one, was because of that. And he goes into great detail in Behold a Pale Horse about it, even like who started it and everything else. We won't get into it here. But the CEO was, or the head, he's not really, I guess I don't have a CEO, it's an organization. But anyway, he was executive director, there you go. So, yeah.
Creepy.
I don't think we really need to say too much about it. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but just be careful on a lot of this stuff.
How many filters did they put on that guy's face?
I was just thinking that, man. It's like,
is any of that his real skin? It looks like a Photoshop nightmare.
yeah, either that or he's using a lot of adrenochrome.
Yeah.
Which,
we should just.
I mean,
yeah.
could be with this. You never know, but
I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know. But anyway, point is,
it's Photoshop.
it's Photoshop.
It's definitely Photoshop.
Big time.
But don't know. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, I think like these, you know, the good thing about MUFON, they do have a lot of reports. We even like used it for some of our research that shows you different things that are going on, where certain events happen. But if you were somebody and saw something, I probably wouldn't call MUFON and tell them what you saw. Keep that to yourself.
Yeah, if you want, if you have awesome videos of UFOs, you can send them to us.
Yeah.
We'll make sure they get published responsibly.
You don't need to contact MUFON.
Or we have friends that'll make sure they get published responsibly too. Just don't go there. Right? So just a control apparatus.
Yeah. Anyway, I know that, like, again, this kind of can bring up some issues talking about MUFON, but I think this kind of showed, you know, why I don't trust MUFON.
All right, so next one. This is yours, bro. You should.
This is nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a lot of stuff related to pedo stuff, but Antifa and Black Lives Matter leader complains he might catch COVID-19 in prison, and this guy is a pedo. It's like...
Okay, first of all, we're quite sure all of the leaders of BLM are Marxists because they all claim to be Marxists.
Yeah.
So, Antifa, all revolutionists, we know that they came from communism.
Yeah. Well, this guy is guilty of statutory rape of an underage girl and a boy. And he's like, I'm at risk of catching COVID-19.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You should have thought about that before. Like, seriously? Like, we're supposed to feel concerned for
This is what he says. We all hear coughs in our unit, and for some time, people were not being seen by medical staff.
I can't even believe this. Like, how does this guy think he has any rights right now?
I don't know. I mean, I mean, obviously, you know, if he was in New York, Bill de Blasio would be like, yeah, let him go. It's fine. But I don't know where this guy is exactly. I'm sure it says in here, but I'm not really sure. But it just really, yeah, stuff like this just really bothers. I mean, this is what's happening, right? It's like you could see LA, New York, I mean, Chicago always has crime, but it's like everything is skyrocketing and everyone's like, why is the crime so high? Well, maybe because Bill de Blasio released 1,000 prisoners 2 months ago. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Maybe because Illinois has Beetlejuice there.
Beetlejuice?
I mean, the governor?
Oh, no, that's Michigan.
Is it Michigan?
Yeah, it's Michigan.
Oh, I thought that was Illinois.
Yeah, no, that was Michigan.
That's right.
That's crazy stuff. Or is it
No.
Minnesota? I'm getting so confused now. Michigan, you guys will start yelling at us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it is Chicago.
She's in Illinois.
Wait, you're gonna laugh, guys.
Why?
Look what I see the results for Beetlejuice made.
Exactly. That's how I found her last time.
Dude, sorry, you're right. Dude, I'm getting confused with the Michigan, because like everything, there was the Michigan dude who was like crazy too, and then of course Minnesota, and then Chicago.
This is what
Sorry.
you get.
Sorry,
If you
I'm
look
like,
up Beetlejuice made.
Dude, well, that's what happens when you have The Walking Dead as a mayor. I mean, no offense. I'm not making fun of. Okay, I'm making.
you're making fun of it.
I'm not even gonna try to defend myself on that one.
You know, I mean,
I only make fun of bad people, though. Okay?
yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean, she does look weird, and it's, you know, I don't know. I mean, who knows what these people are doing, right? I
She
mean,
needs
they're really,
sleep.
yeah, she needs sleep. I think she needs more than that.
Sleep.
I think she needs
She needs sleep.
God.
She needs Jesus.
I think she's been praying to the wrong God there. That's what happens to you. Hey kids, don't pray to Lucifer. This is what you look like.
She wakes up in her bed like.
Oh man. Oh man.
All right.
There's a delay. People are just seeing it now, hearing it now. It's kind of funny. She needs some milk.
Okay. That was I don't know why, but that last article just made me so uncomfortable. It's like that. How could that guy be asking for anything after doing what he did? Like, people are so whacked these days.
I don't get it.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. You should let me out of here. I might catch COVID-19. Dude, you're about to have a double feature of HIV and COVID-19
Wait a minute.
being in jail.
You know, if masks work, then why are they so worried about getting it in prison?
Yeah, just wear a mask.
Yeah, right? Then problem solved. There you go. So, don't have to worry about it.
All right, anyway. All right, you guys.
We're on a roll today.
Up next. All right, so, I urge all of you guys, because I've talked to a few of my friends who are journalists over the last couple of days, and they still haven't read this. And you all at home, if you have not read this, you need to read this resignation letter from the New York Times from Barry Weiss. She was the opinion editor there. I guess it's Barry. Okay. Anyway, she just resigned from the New York Times. And her resignation letter was out of control awesome. It was literally like a Project Veritas drop, and probably one of the most eloquent pieces of writing I've read in a really long time. Like, if you go through this, it gives you so much insight into what's actually going on at the paper of record right now, which shouldn't be considered that at all anymore. And I actually compiled some of the things. Like, I want to read through some of that right now. I definitely highly recommend. It's a little bit long, but it's well worth the read, okay? Okay, so here's some quotes from that. Quote, "I was always taught that journalists were charged with writing the first draft of history. Now, history itself is one more ephemeral thing molded to fit the needs of a predetermined narrative." Boom. Okay, so these 5 paragraphs that I put here are all really important. So I'm just gonna, why don't we read one at a time?
Go ahead.
"My own forays into wrongthink have made me the subject of constant bullying by colleagues who disagree with my views. They have called me a Nazi and a racist. I have learned to brush off the comments about how I'm writing about the Jews again. Several colleagues perceived to be friendly with me were badgered by coworkers. My work and my character are openly demeaned on company-wide Slack channels where masthead editors regularly weigh in. There, some coworkers insist I needed to be rooted out if this company is to be a truly inclusive one. While other post axe emojis next to my name. Still, other New York Times employees publicly smear me as a liar and a bigot on Twitter with no fear that harassing me will be met with the appropriate action. They never are." Oh, man. "There are terms for all of this: unlawful discrimination, hostile work environment, and constructive discharge. I am no legal expert, but I know that this is wrong." Why don't you start at the next paragraph?
She goes on to say, "I do not understand how you have allowed this kind of behavior to go on inside your company, full view of the paper's entire staff and the public. And I certainly can't square how you and other Times leaders have stood by while simultaneously praising me in private for my courage. Showing up for work as a centrist at an American newspaper should not require bravery.
Okay, you want to read that next one?
Oh yeah, okay.
I'll read the last two.
Okay. Part of me wishes I could say that my experience was unique, but the truth is that intellectual curiosity, let alone risk-taking, is now a liability at the Times, or as I say, the trash. Why edit something challenging to our readers or write something bold only to go through the numbing process of making it ideologically kosher?
Wow.
When we can assure ourselves of job security and clicks by publishing our 4,000th op-ed arguing that Donald Trump is a unique danger to the country and the world, and so self-censorship has become the norm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What rules that remain at the Times are applied with extreme selectivity? If a person's ideology is in keeping with the new orthodoxy, they and their work remain unscrutinized. Everyone else lives in fear of the digital thunderdrome. Online venom is excused so long as it's directed at the proper targets. Op-eds that would have easily been published just 2 years ago would now get an editor or a writer in serious trouble if not fired. If a piece is perceived as likely to inspire backlash internally or on social media, the editor or writer avoids pitching it. If she feels strongly enough to suggest it, she is quickly steered to safer ground. And if every now and then she succeeds in getting a piece published that does not explicitly promote progressive causes, it happens only after every line is carefully massaged, negotiated, and caveated. Okay, we're good, Derek. So this is just a portion of what's actually in that, and I highly encourage you to read it. And our President Trump also actually retweeted this resignation letter just to show everyone what was going on. Yeah.
That's right.
So it's very important. I think everyone needs to catch up on that. And just to give you an example of how everything that she just said is happening at the New York Times, the next piece of news is this article by the New York Times that's called
New York Trash.
Yeah, the New York Trash. U.S. weighs sweeping travel ban on Chinese Communist Party members. Now, this is actually really important because right now, excuse me, the Trump administration and AG Barr are considering very, very important measures against Chinese Communist Party members. Okay. Now, what the New York Times is saying here, this is their first paragraph. The Trump administration is considering a sweeping ban on travel to the United States by members of the Chinese Communist Party and their families. According to people familiar with the proposal, a move that would almost certainly prompt retaliation against Americans seeking to enter or remain in China and exacerbate tensions between the two nations. This is the kind of pussyfooting attitude that has got us where we are today. Exactly. Like, no one's taken a stand against the Chinese Communist Party in the last 24 years.
Well, that's because they're all getting money from
Exactly.
it. I mean, they're all being bought out.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, the New York Times, it's like, if they criticize China, it's so surface level criticizing, and it's actually criticizing Xi Jinping, so it makes me pretty much think that they've been bought out by Jiang Zemin's side.
I was going to say, the other members of the CCP.
Yeah, and we'll kind of explain this later, but we've talked about it so many times, right? Jiang Zemin and Xi Jinping, it's like the two factions that are fighting each other. It's kind of like the deep state China. But again, we're not saying Xi Jinping is a good guy. He's like on his own side. And he hasn't been doing what he should be doing, which is like ending communism in China and bringing democracy. And he's a power hungry dude. And that's what really is going on in China, is the control for power.
So a lot of people are always like, why do Edge of Wonder guys talk about China so much? Like, I hear that actually as like a consistent comment on us. Actually, we could have an entire show about China. It's so crazy. We hardly talk about it as much as we could or should even. But to make the point here, Bill Barr, did you see that?
I didn't actually. Okay. I had so much going on. Like, I was trying to get to it, and I heard, or you told me you were going to watch it, and I was like, okay, that's good, because I just haven't had time to see it.
If you don't have a lot of time, put your YouTube window on 2 times the speed and listen to this by Bill Barr. Actually, Derek, could you just play the first minute of it? It's at the time code.
The Punisher just said, like, related to China, it's because we know what we're talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
it's mostly because we have a lot of sources, high-level sources from China that we've accumulated throughout the years. And
It's the scariest place on the planet.
yeah, and we've gotten, I mean, everything, you know, so far, everything they've told us has happened. So that's mostly why. We just have a lot of insight on China that most people don't. And we don't trust
Turn it up.
everybody that's
Privileged to
talking
speak
about
here
China.
today.
You turned up,
what
Derek?
may prove to be
Okay, thanks.
the most important issue for
No-
our
no
nation
audio.
and the world
Are you hearing
in the
this?
21st century, and that is
No audio,
the United
Derek.
States response
Okay, then
to
these
the
aren't
global
working.
ambitions, to the global ambitions
Uh-oh, that's
of
not
the
good.
Chinese Communist Party. The CCP rules with an iron fist over one of the great ancient civilizations of the world. It seeks to leverage the immense power, productivity, and ingenuity of the Chinese people to overthrow the rule-based international system and to make the world safe for dictatorship.
Can't hear you, Derek.
How the United States responds to this challenge will have historic implications and will determine whether the United States and its liberal democratic allies will continue to shape their own destiny, or whether the CCP and its autocratic tributaries will control the future. You know, since the 1890s, at least, the United
Listen to this for another minute,
States
guys.
has been the technological leader of the world. And from that prowess has come our prosperity, the opportunity for generations of Americans, and our security. Because of that, we were able to play such a pivotal role in world history by turning back the threat of fascism and the threat of communism. What's at stake these days is whether we can maintain that leadership position and that technological leadership.
Okay,
We
you can
be
stop
the
here.
generation that has allowed that to be so.
I can sum up the rest. Okay, so
Wow.
it's basically, he goes through a lot of history here in what he talks about, okay? And he talks about how China has used extortion, how almost all federal, like basically to all of these different companies and to government officials, how almost all federally prosecuted cases of stealing intellectual property has to do with stealing for China, okay? He goes through, you just heard him mention technology and AI, and he actually talks about 5G and how like these things kind of are all connected. And he actually even recommended this article, which I recommend you guys read as well, which is which is How America's Biggest Companies Made China Great Again. Okay. He talks about how the Chinese government's infiltration of America has come through every means, and basically getting these big companies to not only give them the intellectual property, but to do all of the business in China so that China could financially basically start taking over the world and become the powerhouse of the entire world. And they've all done it willingly. They've all sold out our country to this gigantic communist apparatus just for money.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
exactly what's
Now,
going
one of the things that he brought up, this you'll find very interesting, is he actually brought up what happened in Hollywood. And he specifically
I did
brought
hear
up
about that.
about World War Z and how World War Z was changed because the virus was originally going to be coming out of China.
Yep. Yeah, it was in the book. It actually is from Falun Gong practitioners coming out of China with the organ harvesting, and that's how people were getting the illness that was turning into
He
zombies.
didn't mention the details,
Yeah.
but he mentioned that they were forced to change it so that they could open up that movie in China. But then they changed the movie, but then China still didn't give them the deal to open up the movie in China. So it like didn't even matter that they didn't do it. The other thing is that they've been trying to get help from Apple, who has deals in China, to get into some iPhones that were like they're the iCloud of iPhones, who are like, these people were terrorists. And Apple has not been helpful to the US government to figure out what's going on in these terrorist rings, because Apple will not let the US government into these iPhones or the backups of these iPhones, which is totally unacceptable. And why aren't they letting them in? Well, they're not letting them in because these things are all connected, basically. And that Apple has gigantic business with China. China's the factory of the world now. China overtook the U.S. in production in 2010. He talks about all of these things. It's really crazy. And he talked about all of these stats and data all around China, and he kind of explains why this is the biggest threat to America right now. I mean, now, think about it. I want everybody at home to think about this right now. With everything going on, with everything we see going on Twitter right now, Bill Barr comes out yesterday and says China is the biggest threat to America right now. He point blank says it at the beginning of that thing, right? That's super serious. Like, we all trust Barr. We know he's not, you know, crapping us when he says something. You know, he's not trying to trick us or something. Like, this is some serious stuff. So I just kind of wanted to point that stuff out because, you know, even recently on Twitter, we can go on to the next one. But actually, let me just finish this, and then you can do a trailer. So there are more and more patriots waking up every day to what's going on in China, right? Yeah. And we have like our boy Tommy G on Twitter. He's doing a great job exposing stuff. Would you pull up that tweet, please?
Yeah, and actually after the trailer, we'll get all into. Oh, actually, yeah. Well, because okay, yeah.
Do you want to do this first, or
well,
the trailer first?
Let's do the trailer first because this is going to lead into
guys, we're going to do the trailer
stuff
right now, and then we'll come right back to this.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, anyway, we're getting great feedback on that show. People love that show. Like, they're, you know. So anyway, please go check that out on edgewonder.tv, The Spear of Destiny.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
People are saying they lost audio.
I muted you while you say that.
What? Okay, you're good now. Okay. So guys, yeah, so now we're going to get into David Robert Steele, and you were talking about Tommy G, and then we're going to get into all the that connects to the Wayfair stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So
let's do it.
Derek,
can you pull that tweet back up from Tommy G?
Of the society.
Yeah,
Let me say that although pedophilia, which says child love, has nothing to do with the abuse of children, these children are not just kidnapped and in some cases bred by families as a cash crop. We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them. And when they are sold, they come without birth certificates, which means it's easier to kill them and have no one ask where they are. We're also importing children by the plane load. Again, children who have no documentation. It's not just child slavery or child sex abuse. It's also child torture because you have adrenalized blood. You have the whole blood drinking ceremony of the satanic world. It's also the use of children for harvesting body organs. We'll have the Falun Gong testimony tomorrow. One of the reasons that the Falun Gong are so popular is because they're so healthy, so that you can harvest their body organs and get the very best. And then you have ritual ceremonies and ritual murder, as well as incidental murder. But I know the system. I've been a spy all over the world. I have created the Marine Corps Intelligence Command. I have trained intelligence and law enforcement representatives, over 8,000 of them from across 66 countries. They are all, without exception, good people trapped in a bad system. And one of the most wonderful things that this court could achieve, now that we've had Pizzagate, for example, which opened people's mind, is we could achieve an opening of the public mind and an absolute imperative from the public to governments, including the U.S. government, which I think is the center of gravity in so many ways. I have found in my research in preparation for this.
All right, that's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
yeah, so that's David Robert Steele, you guys, and
I just pasted that link to that
good.
the chat, you guys.
so sorry, my mic is all messed up right now, pulling on the cord. We actually interviewed David Robert Steele for our Bogus Banners episode that we're working on. And
Can't say what it's really called.
Yeah,
here,
can't say what it's
YouTube.
But we're
Can't handle it.
we'll definitely have him on the show too, near the time when we roll all this out.
Funny story about him.
Yeah.
I'm walking down the street with my mom the other day, right? She's got her headphones on. She never has her headphones on when we're walking down the street together. Like I walk to the beach with my mom a lot, right?
Funny, yeah.
So we're walking down the street, and she's got these headphones on, and she keeps listening to this thing, and I'm like, what are you listening to, Mom? And she's like, just this guy. And I'm like, who is it? She's like, I don't know, Robert David. And I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, okay. And then 5 minutes later, I was like, give me that. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Robert David Steele? And I look, and my mom's watching like a Robert David Steele on YouTube, and she's like, that guy knows a lot. You should have him on your show. And I'm
That's hilarious. Yeah, we definitely, yeah, he actually wants us to come on he has like a, I don't know if he has a YouTube or podcast. He wants us to come on. We've just been so busy, but we're definitely going to have him on, you guys, for sure. And he's full of information. It really is. So the reason why we're showing David Robert Steele and what he's talking about, because this kind of goes into some deeper stuff that we found about Wayfair. And man, people are just, I can't even believe how some people are finding certain things. I'm just like, man, you know, like, it's just so awesome, because we just don't have time to really spend focusing on this one thing, because there's so much there. Even just going on Amazon, I was just looking on a couple things, and I'm like, dude, this is like, there's so many massive rabbit holes to go down.
And Ben found something today that we're not even going to tell you guys about. We're just going to expose it on Twitter and watch it all unwind.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, we decided we would rather it break there. And so keep an eye out on our Twitters over the next couple of days, because there's going to be a lot. Hopefully it opens up a lot of stuff, because
it was probably one of the weirdest mistakes I've came across, and it was so open.
It was like we were just doing our possession scripts.
Yes.
Then looked something up, and it opened up this whole rabbit hole.
It was just right there.
It was the craziest thing.
All in the open, just right there.
Anyway, we'll be posting to Twitter over the next few days, so keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, because we didn't want to talk about it here, because
we don't know. It's going to be more appropriate if we post on Twitter, and then it gets all exposed there. And if it just comes out here, they have a chance of taking it down before it goes through the proper cycle. So
yeah. So people are finding all kinds of stuff on. No, actually, go down to we'll start with the Bloody Harvest book. So most of you guys, I don't know how many of you guys have been following this, but on Wayfair there was a photo of I forget what it was actually being sold, in this photo, and on the background there was just these books there. Well, in the picture frame it says Haitian Friends, and one of the books on the top shelf is a book called Bloody Harvest. And I know for a fact this has been photoshopped, because for one, I actually own the book.
yeah.
So Rob and I used this book when we were writing our organ harvesting series related to.
We know these guys who wrote it.
Yeah, well, we've met them. You've met them.
Yeah,
I've met Kilgore before.
What's funny is his name's Mattis, but
it's Metis,
right?
Yeah. So a lot of people. So anyway, so that's how we know that was Photoshopped, because this book is definitely not this big. When you go on Amazon, right now, you can go on Amazon and look up this book. And it is $900 right now.
Dude, I'm turning that down more.
Yeah, you can turn it down.
So, sorry, guys.
Oh, you got to hit the volume. Hit the volume? No, on the far right.
Yeah, turn it down, Derek.
Anyway, so so Derek, you can actually. Well, okay, you're coming over here to turn it down. Anyway, so some people thought the book was fake. It is a real book. The question is, why is this book and Haitian Friends in this image? Now, this book, these guys, David Kilgore and David Metis, so they actually did an entire investigation into the organ harvesting back in like 2005, 2006.
Okay, now you can go to the site. It's called the World Organization to...
I forget too.
Man, I'm going to look it up. World Organization to End the Persecution of Falun Gong.
Or you can actually just go to...
It's Wapefig. I remember this.
Okay. Or you can actually just type in Bloody Harvest and it will take you to the website. And you can actually read this book online for free. This was published as a is a document to hand over to the United Nations. That was this investigation. And it has everything from actual accounts of victims, of people that were in the campsites, people that were in the prisons, like Chinese people. It has accounts of doctors. They posed as people wanting an organ. Like, for example, they went to a hospital. They're like, blah, blah, blah. And can we, we're sick. We need an organ. And the doctors were like, oh, yeah, we can get you one. Especially anybody that's not Chinese, they like bend over backwards for when it comes to things like this. So they explain, like, how fast can I get a kidney? And they're like, oh, within a week.
So I just want to tell everyone, you can go to upholdjustice.org.
Friends of Falun Gong, I think, actually has it too.
Yeah, this one just has more of the information specifically related to this stuff.
This stuff, okay.
Yeah, now it's upholdjustice.org. It used to be like whitefig.org or something.
Yeah.
But they changed it, which is probably good. Now, the website looks like it's from 1996. I understand that, but sometimes those websites have all of the accurate information. It's just the way it goes.
Sure. So yeah, so anyway, the question is like, why is this book that's talking specifically about Falun Gong organ harvesting on this bookshelf, knowing that this has been photoshopped in there? It's not the actual book.
Right.
And the book that on top is like, justice shall be done. It's just...
Now, I just want to point this out.
Really interesting.
Derek, can you pull up what Ben is looking at, which is the book on that shelf? Okay, now, I want to show you this right now. Look at the bind of this book.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Right.
It's definitely photoshopped.
Yeah, no, but what I want to point out, not just is that it's photoshopped, it's the effort that they put into Photoshop that. They would have had to take out this headline, and then they actually typed this in, okay? Or they typed whatever is in underneath Bloody Harvest, specifically to put it on there. So they're just communicating with this. It's not that they wanted to promote this book, right? They're actually communicating with it. So it's just very odd the way that they did that. And it actually took effort of actually someone who knows Photoshop to do that.
Yeah, so I can't paste this link in there because it's too big. There's too many things. Anyway, so on Amazon, it's on Amazon selling for like $500. Third party. This isn't the official place that's selling. Because realistically, this book should be like $20, $25 max.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so
$494.99 for this book is
yeah,
absurd.
and there's one new for $900.
Yeah.
Well, what's weird is that, and this isn't the ISBN number. This was like this number that's on Amazon. I typed it in to Yandex, and for images, just a bunch of computers showed up. When I went to videos, it was all Chinese porn that showed up.
What?
Yes. It was like a bunch of random Chinese porn.
Weird.
It was super weird. Or
That's super
I should
weird.
say Asian. I can't say for sure it was Chinese, but they look Chinese. I usually can tell Chinese people. But it's the weirdest thing that I probably came across today. It's like, why? And this is not the real ISBN number. There's something else. This is like, on Amazon, they have like things that they're selling, and it's the number on Amazon. This is like Amazon's number. It's not the official book number.
Right.
So, strange things. And then, to kind of show what's going on, Derek, you can go to the CBS or NBC article. As much as I can't stand NBC, they actually did a somewhat decent job on this article. China forcibly harvests organs from detainees. And it gets into things, but it doesn't go into that much detail. But it does show that they're saying that China's organ transplant trade is worth over $1 billion a year. And the thing is, China doesn't have an organ donation system. So the big question, and actually this article does bring up, is like, where are these organs coming from if China doesn't have an organ donation system? And it's
There's
like,
no way to track anything.
Yeah.
They just do all of this stuff and shady deals. And hospitals in the U.S. have deals with these guys.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hospitals in like Pennsylvania, as close as Pennsylvania. You know?
Yeah. And some argue it's like, well, some come from family members, and it's like, yes, but you can actually track those, and it's like less than 5%. So where's the 95% coming from? And it's just, and then when you start looking and how what we're thinking about the selling the kids, the adrenochrome aspect, you know, what we know and what we talked about in our previous videos is that, from what we understood, and it's also mentioned in this book, is that organ harvesting is really, Wuhan was really focused on organ harvesting. It actually seemed that could have been the birthplace of the organ harvesting. And, you know, obviously we also know what else comes out of Wuhan. And, you know, from the
adrenochrome,
I was going to say the virus, and then adrenochrome was being shipped out of Wuhan.
Well, no, and it's also important to know that in those bio labs, they're containing all the viruses of the world there.
Yeah.
What are they doing with them?
Exactly.
Other than experimenting on
Yeah.
them, you know?
Yeah, and someone mentioned in the chat, Uyghurs too. And
Uyghurs, yeah.
Uyghurs, yeah. They're definitely...
Christians, Uyghurs, and Falun Gong practitioners among the most persecuted people in China.
And pro-democratic people now that want to bring in democracy, you know, but the main groups is the Falun Gong, because there were so many of them. There was 100 million people.
What was that pro-democracy guy that just kept getting persecuted terribly?
Wong.
Dude,
the kid.
Everyone's
the kid in Hong Kong, right? Joshua Wong?
No, I'm talking about the...
Oh! The lawyer?
Yeah. I'll find out. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to...
Gao Shizhong?
Gao
Zhizhong or something like that?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, something like that. There's a lawyer guy.
There's a really good book. That's why I'm trying to find out.
But,
Gao Zhisheng, yeah.
Yeah, Gao Zhisheng or something like that. And yeah, I mean, all of the stuff is really going on, and it's just all connected. And what we're thinking, when a lot of the, if the parents are getting arrested for practicing, or it doesn't matter if they're like Falun Gong Christians or whatever, right? They're going to leave a lot of children orphans. Where are these children going? That is the big question. And it's like, I think all of this, I think we're going to start seeing all of this connected with the human trafficking, adrenochrome, organ harvesting, and you know.
And the reason why I brought this guy up is because this guy has a sack of steel. He was like the only guy back in the day when no one even wanted to talk about this issue who was trying to legally battle the Chinese Communist Party against their persecution of Falun Gong practitioners, of Christians, and of Uyghurs. And his story is out of control. Like, I've read a couple of books about the guy, and it's nuts. Like, he's just just stuck to his principles at the expense of him and his family, and it's just a heartbreaking story.
I don't know who originally found the Bloody Harvest book on the shelf. I know Tommy G had a thing about it. He made a video about it. I don't know if he was the one that found it.
He's the one that found it, yeah.
Okay, because I thought somebody else found it.
No, it was Tommy G. So. And then there's been a lot of people being like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, Tommy. And Tommy was like, no, you guys.
You look into it, you guys.
He's like, here, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we did a whole 2-part series specifically on it.
So I'm quite sure Gao Zhisheng is now dead, that the Chinese Communist Party killed him. They persecuted him to death, so...
I thought he got freed for a while, then he got back in jail.
Derek, can you confirm for us? I'm quite sure he's
his family came over to New York, actually. His daughter, sadly, is not doing well because she had a very hard time with everything that was going on with her dad. But I don't know how old she is now. I don't know. I haven't thought about him in a while, actually. But
he may still be alive, but he's being contained like very, very seriously. It's a very serious situation. It's hard to find out whether he's alive.
There's no like death date, but it says he disappeared in 2017.
Yeah, so he's okay.
He could be dead.
Yeah.
Dude, I called
Robert David Steele?
Yeah, I said David Robert Steele at one point, so someone pointed that out.
David Robert Steele sounds like a rock star.
There's too many people we know David. My middle name's David, my dad's David, David Rodriguez, so there's a lot of Davids. David, yeah, anyway, tons. Yeah, let's go on to that, because this is just, I mean, you guys might have seen this. Did you see this?
What's this?
Oh, dude, you get to listen to this, man. If you haven't seen this, listen.
Put it on my face. Okay.
Oh, it started all over there.
Yeah, for 7 years.
Now he's an early 30s and you're a late 50s.
Yeah.
But somehow you both look the same age there. I mean, you know, there's something to be said for being with a younger man.
I suck baby's blood. And put it on my face.
Okay.
Just joking.
I'm Lee Daniels, and I'm voting for Hillary Clinton.
Relationship for quite a moment. comment now.
You notice that he was the only one laughing when he said that? Everyone's like...
I'm just laughing that that dude edited that in at the end. I'm voting for Hillary Clinton.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. Oh my God, he just said it.
He just said it. He just said it. And I think that, I mean, even the host was just like, what did you just, like, she didn't even know how to respond to that.
First of all, Wendy Williams, she's very aware of all this
is
stuff.
she?
Dude, she made a cameo in our music industry series all about Jay-Z and all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole,
somebody
actually.
else.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. Yeah. And then click on the next link there. We actually covered this when this first came out. This was like 2018. We covered this on our show a while ago. But there's this whole study that was done a couple years ago explaining how young blood could be the secret of everlasting youth. And then along with this was, because when we talked about this, we actually talked about the PayPal guy who's the CEO, how he was allowing payments through PayPal to purchase young blood. So
that's why Bitcoin was created, really. The cryptocurrencies...
Not Bitcoin. This is PayPal, but...
Still, though,
yeah.
PayPal and the Bitcoin and all of these cryptocurrencies, they were created to create more of a wall between you and who the payer was.
Did you find something, Derek?
Yeah, so let me read it off. So the research is part of a wave of studies and trials backed by PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel, called Ambrosia. That's the company.
Ambrosia. Yeah, I mean that means like the food of the gods.
Yeah.
That's like what that word means. So, food of gods, adrenochrome. I mean, this.
That's what they call themselves, the Olympians, right?
Exactly.
You know that.
Yeah.
So they're obsessed with the Olympians. That's why anyone who is an Olympian in history, all of the Olympian gods, the pagan gods, so to speak, they've turned those into their own people, and you have to track those gods back in history to find out the truth about them. They're leads. Like, I'm telling you, a lot of people get upset when I say this, but track the god Hermes back, all the way back, and it all leads to the same thing. You just have to do that work.
Exactly. And I mean, that's why I'm always so curious about Elon Musk, because he started PayPal. Obviously, he sold it now.
Well, but you know, from that document that Eric Schmidt's ex-lover, it really painted all of those like genius people in a new light. It's like they're not really these people that we think they are. These this Silicon Valley gods. They're just like normal dudes who the CIA or whoever it is, the operator, puts them at the head of it, and then they create this operation around them and make them seem like they're amazing or whatever it is,
Yeah. No, someone's like, ambrosia is not adrenochrome. No, I know ambrosia is not adrenochrome. I'm just saying, like, it means food of gods, right? And to them, that the children could be their food. That could be why I'm just theorizing. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying that it is.
Okay, next, you guys, we're going to listen to this crazy Sarah Silverman and Patton Oswalt
this is
clip from back in the day. I think it was Tommy G actually posted this too, and I'm glad he's doing this work.
I saw it everywhere.
Yeah. Pulling it up? Yep. Thanks. Just loaded, guys. Give it a sec. Yeah, why is this taking so long? How is that okay? I don't care.
I just don't get. I just don't even get it. I don't get. Someone's like, oh man.
Look, like they just put this stuff out there. Like they're just doing it to themselves. Okay, I made this tweet. It's not here. I didn't put it in the. But basically, it was about how modern art has allowed Marina Abramovic's spirit cooking to just go like. Be explained away as like self-expression or whatever. And now comedy has allowed this to be explained away as comedy, right? Like it's the same thing. It's two sides of the same coin. It's the craziest thing.
Well, you guys, this is where things are going to get a little bit kind of dark.
Not that they already haven't.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, some of these, because like, Derek, you want to click on the next thing. it's just, you know, I just feel like we have to expose this stuff. Like the media thinks it's okay, the stuff going around, and it's just like, oh, it's comedy. Dude, I mean, this was like, this video, it was viral. I mean, it was viral for like the people that were like liking this dude who he is. This is why it doesn't make any sense. Did you see this?
No, I don't think I want to see this.
Just play it.
What? I saw this. Yeah, no, not cool. I did see this.
It's like, I mean, in one aspect, it's like they're just trying to, they're trying to normalize all this stuff,
but why
right?
would you put that on, like, even, that's not appropriate whatsoever,
like, got
period.
Millions of views. I mean,
Not
I'm sure
appropriate.
from people on both sides, right? But it's just so
Bro, you can't defund
bizarre.
TikTok because TikTok is owned by the Chinese Communist Party, you guys.
Yeah, you guys don't use TikTok.
Yeah.
It goes into, basically, if you have TikTok, it knows everything that you're doing on your phone. I would highly not recommend you using TikTok at all.
Yeah, nope.
But yeah, this stuff, unfortunately, I forget that guy's name. I had it, and then I kind of forget who it was.
We'll call him Donkey McDonkerson.
Okay.
That's our John Doe on Ninja
Man, and did you see this thing about Justin Bieber?
What was this? Oh, yeah, okay.
This is in his new music video. Old music video. Sorry, very old. Sorry, I was thinking it was his new one, but yeah, you're right. It's his old one.
What the heck?
Yeah, man. Go ahead and go through it, Derek. This one, I don't even know what to say about that. You can read some of this. Yeah.
Love the. Oh, come on.
Yeah. Kill the poor. Yeah. The level. This stuff is weird, man. Oh yeah, there's.
Oh my gosh, that's so demonic.
Made it. Yeah, this is all in this video that he has. It's so bizarre. Yeah, go ahead. And the dude at the
Okay,
eyes
now
coming out.
I just want to say this really quick. Can you stop putting this? There's a lot of bad energy on those.
Yeah.
I think they've seen enough. So, okay, so.
This is the one where it's Bush did 9/11.
Yeah, he was involved. We all know it wasn't him.
Well, not Bush.
Well, but he was.
I mean,
he's like
he
one of,
authorized
like,
it. I mean,
he's
he
one
worked
of many
with.
players.
Yeah.
Dude, his expression when it happened said it all.
Oh no.
He isn't in charge.
He's talking about Bush Senior. Bush Senior was the one that
Maybe.
Anyway, no, seriously, because the Saudi Arabia dudes were at his home before it happened. There's photos of it because they were meeting together. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But with this, I think, okay, before everyone freaks out about Justin Bieber, I think there's two things that could be going on here. One is that he could be having it so open in your face to actually try to expose it.
Maybe.
Because we're hearing different things on Justin Bieber. I mean, we actually know somebody who has met him and talked to him, and he was saying how he wanted to get out, and he didn't like the music that he's playing, and he wants to do something else, and they told him, if you do any other kind of music, you're done. Like, we're cutting you off. So he's like a slave to the system.
Well, that's how they all are. Though.
Yeah.
It's like, just give up your dream of being a star and get out of there. That's what you have to do. That's what they're holding that over your head. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I think
you just have to let everything go and get out.
My personal opinion about him is that I think he was born into this, been sexually abused, been, you know, a victim himself, probably did some bad things because of what he's doing.
Since he was a kid.
And this is like his way of trying to
now, one of the
say,
things,
help me.
I'm going to piggyback off what you're saying right now is when that song Yummy came out. Yeah. Like that song is actually, I started, the more I listen to music that's been in our history, the more disturbed I get. Because after that song got, you know, published, it became famous really quick. Like everyone was like singing it and all of that stuff. And everyone thought it was about like, you know, a lover. Okay. Like a lover these are adults. Okay. But he started posting all of these baby photos to Instagram saying yummy. right?
Oh yeah, that's right, he did.
And I think
weird.
I think he was trying to expose the fact that that's what that song was about. It wasn't about another adult. It was about something else potentially. I mean, I could be stretching here, but I don't. With everything that we know.
No, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
It's hard to say whether he's actually involved or trying to.
I think if you're still creating music that's getting sent out there en masse, you're involved. Like that, just like the way that he is. I'm not saying, I can't say like whether or not if he can take himself out and do the right thing, then hopefully he can start, you know, healing from all of that or whatever, but that's a separate issue. Like,
yeah, I just wish more of these celebrities would just start coming out. And
they need to come out, man.
Do.
All of you at home are watching this. It's like, it's time. Like,
well, you're seeing what's happening on Twitter, right? I mean, look what's happening on Twitter. It's like
2020 is
people cannot
running out, man.
Yeah, seriously. And then we'll go into Tom Hanks's. This is so fascinating. So, somebody, go ahead and bring that up, Derek. We had on our post, actually, this guy, Mr. Mario 10, he put this on here and I couldn't, it's really short.
Epstein, sir. Good work. It's my little boy, sir.
The kid's name is Epstein. And you know what's even weirder?
No.
Tom Hanks wrote the script.
That's so in your face, man.
The script. This is that new thing that's coming on Apple. It's like, what is it called? The Greyhound, about World War II. And major big shout out to Mr. Mario on that one, because I would have never found that. And I was like, I even went on
Twitter, he's Mr. Mario 10.
Yeah. I even went on IMDb just to make sure that this was legit.
Yeah.
The character's name is something Epstein. And I kind of looked some stuff up with the guy, the character, the actor himself, briefly. You know, I don't want to say anything right now because I couldn't really find anything direct, but it was very interesting. So, yeah.
Dude, we haven't even, this has been a crazy show.
Yeah, we haven't even
gotten to Chrissy Teigen yet. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Your thing.
Bill Gates, philanthropist, or deep state Illuminati infiltration into humanity's most sensitive subjects, like our health, our environment, our genetics. And how do all three tie into one very suspicious flight on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express? The series too hot for the YouTube censorship Gestapo. Billuminati Gates, Epstein, Eugenics, and the Lolita Express, coming July 14th only on edgeofwonder.tv.
Okay, you guys, we cannot put those episodes on YouTube. And actually, any of our new stuff that's like about Antifa,
keeps getting taken down.
BG, who we just showed you,
BG.
Any of the scamdemic stuff, any of the COVID stuff cannot go here anymore. It all has to go on edgeofwonder.tv because that's what YouTube is doing to us. Okay, we can't put it here anymore. We just got our Antifa episode that exposed the true history taken out, saying we were cyberbullying them, if you can believe that. So, look, we really need your support.
Cyberbullying and there's one other word they used. Harassment.
Harassment, yeah.
Harassment and cyberbully. Us with Antifa.
It's just... anyway, okay, you guys. So we could really use your support on edgeofwonder.tv. We're trying to keep all of this going and trying to get more of our friends out there who are getting censored on our platform as well. So if you could, that's your way to donate to us. If you could help us out on edgeofwonder.tv, we give you something back. We give you videos. It would be great, and we can't do it without you guys. Actually, you're the reason why we can keep doing what we're doing. Your voice right now is keeping Edge of Wonder going. So we really appreciate you guys very much. But without further ado, let's get into Agra of Thra.
Well, actually, before...
You want to do something else
Well,
first?
before we do that, I was just going to... There's this thing on Sarah Silverman, speaking of Epstein, and she had a post from 2012 that said, if I have a son, I'm going to name him Juan Epstein. I just...
John Epstein, which is John...
Yeah, which is John, right. And then the post underneath that somebody posted said, this is from Sarah Silverman too, I got a quickie abortion in case RVW gets overturned. So it must be the
Roe versus Wade gets overturned.
Yeah, Roe versus Wade gets. There it is, right there. You can click on that. That is insane.
Gosh.
Yeah, she's just nuts, man. And then she has that whole rant that she did against, like, making fun of Jesus and Jewish people. She said if I was a Jew back then, I would have killed Jesus. That's what she said.
She said a bunch of crazy crap, man.
She's just like
those
nuts, man.
those ones that bark like that out there are the ones that have the most to hide. I mean, look at that Pat Oswalt thing.
It's true,
it's so
man.
ridiculous.
And they're together, and that's the most insane thing. They're both like have said things about being pedophiles.
Can you imagine being the cameraman on that one and just being like, I really can't relate. That's not funny.
Definitely not. Definitely not. All right, let's get into Hissy Chrissy.
Hissy Chrissy.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about with her.
You know, I think, yeah, I hope you guys are hanging in there with us and you're not getting bored of the show or anything. We've been kind of going hard for a while on this stuff. Anyway.
We just need to expose all of this, I feel. You know, the more the stuff comes out in the open, the more that these people cannot do it. I mean, Tom Hanks had to shut down his Instagram comments. Yeah. He completed Tom Hanks. You cannot comment on Instagram
no, that's been
anymore.
for a while, though.
Okay, and then there's...
Since the Isaac Cappy stuff, like he started getting hammered for some of this
well,
stuff.
And on Twitter, I don't know if he blocked it on Twitter, but then you have like Ellen doing the same. Well, we'll get into that too. But anyway, go ahead. We can start with this.
All right, guys. Gosh. Well, this
James Woods' response.
Yeah, does it taste like chicken? If you said eat this one bite of human and you can eat any other meat the rest of your life, or Chrissy, you eat turkey. I can't see the rest, Derek. Scroll down. Yeah.
There you go.
Forever, I'd eat human. Yeah.
Or then James Woods says, does it taste like
chicken?
So
she would rather eat human than have to eat turkey the rest of her life. Okay, well, thanks for letting us know. This is the tip of an iceberg, you guys. Wait till we show you the rest. All right, hit the next one.
I have a bunch of like tweets from her, basically.
Yeah, compilation.
That's good. Dude, there's... I just can't get over how many tweets that she actually put. And then she's like, I was hacked since 2011. Like, what the heck?
Yeah,
like,
okay. All right, sure you were hacked, buddy. Okay, so I'm going to read a bunch of these. Seeing little girls do this. This is Chrissy Teigen, not me.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel bad.
Hey,
Derek,
stuff. Hit the second link. Yep. This isn't it.
You're reading it.
No.
Yeah, we got. Oh,
no. I need you to
it's just different.
X out of there. Hit the second link in that thing.
Just read it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to start reading these. So it's the first image in there, right? Seeing little girls do the splits half naked is just, I want to put myself in jail. Chrissy Teigen. That was on June 13th, 2011. January 27th, 2013, she said, I am going to jail over pizza. Mm-hmm. June 22nd, 2011. It always weirds me out how strong little toddlers' tummies can look. And I, aware of how absolutely disturbing that sounds. Hashtag TCAP. Mm-hmm.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know. I'd have to look into that.
I'm going to look it up. You keep reading.
Yeah. Okay. Chrissy Teigen, February 10th, 2012. A belly and a shirt with a small, sexy toddler on it saying, #1, duh. Retweet at Chad Kramer. What does a guy wear to a toddlers and tiaras party? Okay, March 2nd, 2014, Chrissy Teigen says, I want pizza. March 2nd, 2014, Chrissy Teigen says, Brad Pitt just handed us pizza. August 5th, 2012, I woke up this morning with a pizza on my chest and ranch dressing all over me, so if you think I'm too good for this, you are sadly mistaken. Retweet Big Vin, retweet Secret Naked Hobo, Pedophiles Delight, Toddlers and Tiaras, *4, Don's Fake Boobs, Butt. And then she has an article here.
Okay. I figured out what it means.
What is it?
So
TCAP.
This is actually trending in Thailand. Tons of people are looking this up in Thailand. It means to catch a predator.
TCAP. So she says hashtag to catch a predator, referring to herself.
Mm-hmm. That is nuts, man.
That's just... Go to the next image. I've been hacked for 11 years. This is my first true tweet. Hello, everyone. Did anything interesting happen? I love cats. Okay.
That was one for well, well, I'm kind of getting into it when we talk about
I have blockchained over 1 million people.
That
1 million people today, and I am still flooded with 6 psychopaths. So please spare me just ignore them. They're just trolls. Hey, Chrissy, have you considered that perhaps you're the psychopath?
I think that since there's 1 million, there's definitely an issue there. So
anyhow, I'll do my best to. This is her again. Anyhow, I'll do my best to stop entertaining them. They have definitely been living for this and have zeroed in on only me. Thanks to everyone helping me. Blah blah blah. DMs, people. Okay, whatever. Anyway,
she's just nuts. She's just totally nuts. And
yeah,
where are we? There's so many links with.
Yeah, we're not going to go through them all, you guys, but
I don't want to go through
we'll
them
put
all.
in all the links.
Yeah, well then let's.
I'll put all the links on my Twitter account. How about that?
Let's go to the toothpaste bottle one, Derek, because this one is funny. So Julian's Rum, he's an awesome guy to follow too. I'm sure a lot of you have probably already
Julian's
followed
Rum's
him.
good.
He just puts out some great stuff, and he put this out. John Legend married a half-used toothpaste tube. But then,
yeah, but what's crazy about this is what's in her
what's
pants?
going on down there? I mean, granted, it could be, a shadow.
I mean, is it a half-used toothpaste tube or a half?
Is that a toothpaste tube in your
toothpaste man?
Is that a toothpaste tube in your pants, or are you
just
happy to see me? In Q...
And John Legend's just like, I got him dad bod. They both have dad bods. No offense. Like I said, I only make fun of people.
Derek, scroll down a little bit.
I don't want to.
Ben asked Derek to scroll down and he said he doesn't want to. Okay.
It's YouTube's terms of service to go down there.
In the spirit of keeping this going, I need you to pull up the Don Lemon thing.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Oh, that is too funny.
Okay, now, you guys, listen to this.
Commentary raises a thought-provoking question. Should pedophiles be extended some measure of sympathy? Are we doing enough to identify and help pedophiles before they victimize our children? Dr. James Cantor wrote that commentary. He is a psychologist and a senior scientist at the Center for Addiction and Mental Health in Toronto, and he joins us now. Doctor, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
I want to ask you something, and I know people are going to probably send me a lot of hate mail for this. I've never been one to take glee in anyone's demise, and when I saw Jerry Sandusky walk out in handcuffs, I did kind of feel a bit sorry for him, even though I know the jury found him to do some horrific things. I was like, his life is over. All of these young boys, it was terrible for them as well. There are no winners. In your piece, you say
there are no winners?
Pedophile, but someone can choose to not be a
What does that even mean?
So explain that to us.
All right, just shut up.
I can't even listen anymore, man. I don't want to give this guy any...
He's like, obviously there's no winners. Like, what are you talking about?
There's
Those
no
kids
winners.
just lost their lives. Like,
And he's going to jail.
Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't go to jail just for those comments. Like, what are you talking about? Like, holy cow.
Dude, that guy really annoys me. He's really
just out of control. Like, I don't even know. Like, and it's so obvious. And then you have people like foaming at the mouth whenever he comes on to listen to what Don Lemon says the next day, or like Anderson Cooper or these other people. Like, come on.
Oh man, these comments on here are gold. This is like been some. I wish I could just like read all these comments.
Oh, I felt really bad for Jerry Sandusky. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the dude, like, molested all those people. He's a pedophile.
And they're getting somewhat justice by him going to jail. So it's like, you know, but anyway, to me, it just shows that, you know, obviously all these guys are in the same club. So,
okay. Why don't you hit the
well,
next
let's go
one?
to the John Podesta. Okay, this is kind of changing gears a little bit, but still, you know, we know who John Podesta is. But this is something that was kind of
Dude, we have
interesting.
to move on to weirder news soon. We're just going out. It's like
we have just so much. There's just so much that happened. Okay, this is also from Julian's Rum. This is kind of interesting. This is kind of important. So Podesta had a tweet, and Julian points out it's at 1700 military time, and he's like, check the artwork. And what he says is Trump's attack on the Green New Deal are falling flat with voters. No one is buying the GOP's bogus claims on hamburgers and airplanes. New polling from Climate Power shows exactly why Democrats need to go bold on climate.
I'm gonna go eat a burger right after this, John Podesta.
And he posted it's 5 p.m. and then he mentions that it looks like there's these weird things. I mean, it looks like an S, like a lightning bolt, and something else that's going on. And what's crazy about this, so what Julian is saying is he's saying falling flat as what we would say bogus banner. Is he calling for a bogus banner here? And there's something going on like you know, this, either the S, the lightning bolt, the V, something happening. Well, Derek, go to the next tweet with Ellen. So Ellen tweets this out the other day as well. And, oh, sorry, this is...
No, he's got Ellen up.
Oh, yeah, those. So what's interesting, okay, so Ellen tweets this out on July 16th, the day before. She says, last night we say goodbye to our dog, Wolf, and he brought us much love and joy, and we hope he did the same for him, or I hope we did the same for him. And then all these people commented on our post. But again, Julian pointed out that Comey was talking about his dog, Benji, which is kind of really weird because my name was Benji. And
But you remember the dog show named Benji.
Yeah, everyone called me Benji the dog when I was growing up, so I changed my name to Ben.
That's good.
But anyway, so he mentioned that there looks like when you really dive deep into these codes, a lot of these elite people are starting to talk about dogs a lot lately. And he mentioned that George H.W. Bush died, and then Comey's like, oh, we say goodbye to our dog Benji, pretty much the same day that they're like, did George Bush die? And no one knew that George Bush died at this point. And then a few days later, it came out that George Bush died.
Right.
But here's the weird thing. So remember that wolf that she posted and then what he said. So you go to the next tweet, Derek. Breaking motorcade with acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf in Portland. And a lot of people were suggesting, is this guy in trouble? Because his name is Wolf. Podesta's calling for looks like a bogus banner, and this guy is actually working with Trump and he's going to Portland to the protests, what's going on, and it looks like they're going to start taking action. So,
well, they're all. It's not like if. I'm just throwing this out there.
Yeah.
If we're seeing this stuff,
I mean, definitely the NSA and all this stuff, right? Yeah, and actually, when people were putting this together, they were tweeting out to the NSA, to Homeland Security, to all the saying, "Hey, are you guys seeing this? This may not be anything, but it looks like there's some kind of comms going on, you know." We just want to let you know that something is weird. I would definitely say that, and this is what we were talking about earlier. This is why Twitter is so important for the deep state and so important. This is like the main battlefield. This is what Q's talking about now. It's like I'm starting to realize it. And then also, just a few days ago,
oh yeah,
you on I forget which day it was exactly.
Grant Imahara,
the 13th
of Mythbusters. 3
celebrities died in one day.
Yeah.
You have Grant, Imahara, who was the host of, or one of the hosts
of Mythbusters. He was one of the
side
guys,
hosts, right? Yeah, and then he was also in something called White Rabbit Projects. I didn't even know that.
It was something new that came out that was like this.
Okay.
It was similar to Mythbusters, but like a little different.
There is rumors that there was a sexual assault case against him, but it hasn't hit the public yet. And then we, of course, we have Kelly
Preston's death, which is John Travolta's wife.
Yes.
Which is very strange.
So there's a couple of things about this. I looked into this a little bit more. He said that she was battling with cancer. For one thing,
no one knew that.
No one knew that.
Yeah.
Second of all, John Travolta has yet to make a video or appearance. The only thing that he had was a Twitter post, like talking about her death. And no one knew that she had cancer. Even last year, there was somebody battling heart cancer, a famous person, and Kelly was talking about her and saying like, oh yeah, you know, she's hopefully she overcomes this and everything's okay. And never once was it mentioned that Kelly was battling cancer herself. And then we have the weirdest one, which is Naya Rivera, the one who, Rivera, yeah, who died, as everyone knows, died in the drowning in the lake. And she was with her son. No one really knows how she died, right?
That was very strange. This one, I read about this.
So, Derek, click on this next link. This is the weirdest thing I probably came across all week. So there was a post on Amazon, which has been removed. I went to go look for it and I could not find it. That was a rug, just a mat, just a regular mat that should be like $12, $20, $30 at the max, called Kenia Rivera, and it was being sold for $1,121. Oh, $1,121, or sorry, $121,987, which is the exact date that she was born.
What the heck?
Yeah, she was the exact date, the January 12th, 1987, and the dimensions of the rug match the area of the lake she drowned in. It was 1938, 19.3,
so she knew she was going to get taken out.
Or this was a message to somebody else saying, take her out.
But the way that she left the child on the boat, right? It points to her kind of knowing, like the case around it points to her knowing something was up, it seems.
It's weird. I can't quite.
How old was she?
And then she was born where she died. That's the weird. She was born in.
So okay, wait, Derek, how old? Tell the audience.
She was 33 when she died.
That's it. So the area of the rug. No, go back down to the rug, Derek. The area of the rug is 33 inches by 19.38. 33. The 1938 is where she died. She was born in I don't know how to pronounce this, like Peru, and that's where she was born. And the price is her birthday.
So she was 33. So this was obviously some kind of sacrifice.
This is definitely. So I don't know if this was.
Well, and they always say that deaths in Hollywood come in threes.
Mm-hmm.
There was just 3 deaths right there.
And there's no way anywhere that this rug would be selling for, or mat. It's just a mat. It's just a doormat for $1 million on Amazon. So. There's definitely deeper things going on when you start looking into this Wayfair stuff and Amazon and eBay and all this stuff. So
that's crazy, man.
I think that, I seriously think that, well, the other aspect is if they know that she was on the lake, knowing that she, whatever, people could be underwater already, and then if she got in the water, they just pulled her in or something like that. That's one aspect, or like you said, maybe she knew that she was going to die.
I think she knew.
Something happened.
I think it just seems like she knew. But anyway, before we get into weirder things, we need to watch possibly the best trailer we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, you want to pull that up for us? Put your headphones on. This is hilarious if you haven't seen it.
First time, I think, acting that I had put on a costume and really felt like the character. I think, whether you're playing a god or, a human or whatever, you make it real.
She's just so self-involved. She has no social graces, let's put it that way. And she does a lot of horrible things. She wants to keep her lifestyle going.
But it was all kind of a mistake that he's got, so he believed in something that wasn't actually true. So he's this kind of angry, nasty, scary person who lives in this horrible old buggy place.
It's so much fun not to think about anything but just this crazy character. I wanted her to be really despicable and just Not very nice woman, definitely.
He has a questionable character and questionable integrity, coupled with a sort of crippling self-knowledge of his relative lack of talents.
I met Mrs. and President Obama, and it was just, I thought that I was gonna like vomit all over them because they've sadly done some damage.
I'm not a man that enjoys wearing a dress. For me, as an actor, it's like if somebody goes to Walmart to work, they put on their uniform. For me, that's putting on the uniform, going out and making people laugh.
I will eat my neighbors.
You know, as kids, as you do, you know, you play cowboys and Indians, you know, and never once did I want to be the cowboy. Never once. I wanted to be the Indian.
As Elizabeth Warren.
Look. What was the question?
I'm attracted to young people, boys, girls. I mean, my two favorite groups are the elderly and the young.
That's so funny. You know, after they posted that, they're like, if we get deleted from, we might be deleted from Twitter from posting this, but it was worth it. That's
It was
the people who made it. It was so funny.
Yeah, hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's get into weirder news now because we're already late and behind.
Yeah.
You want to hit the first one or you want me to?
All right. Oh, yeah. This is... okay. So, number 10. What's up?
Go ahead.
Oh.
I was waiting for Derek.
Actually, Derek, you know what? I'm going to switch. Let's do that Mark Rufio one. Number 10. That one's... Yeah, let's do that. That's better. This is Mark Rubio is on, I don't know, oh, he's on CBS. It's so fascinating. He's actually talking about UFOs.
Really?
Yeah, listen to this. Yep, sure. Basically, he's saying that, he's like, oh.
Me about all this, and the reason why I think it's an important topic, okay? And that is, we have things flying over our military bases and places where we're conducting military exercises.
Taking the Gospels at their word, is there evidence here?
That's a legitimate question to ask. I would say that, frankly, that if it's something of outside this planet, that might actually be better than the fact that we've seen some technological leap on behalf of the Chinese or the Russians or some other adversary that allows them to conduct this sort of activity. But the bottom line is, if there are things flying over your military bases and you don't know what they are because they're not yours, and they exhibit potentially technologies that you don't have at your own disposal, that to me is a national security risk and one that we should be looking into. And so that's the premise I begin with.
Let's clear this up. Who would be looking into this? And they would be generating some sort of a publicly available report on, you're not using the phrase unidentified flying objects. You have another euphemism for it, unidentified aerial phenomenon, which is not.
I didn't come up with that. That's the one that the military uses internally, and
UAP.
ultimately, you know, that's the one we use. And what we're saying, yeah. So the Office of Naval Intelligence, has impacted the Navy for the most part. I've seen reports on this now for the better part of a decade. Other countries have had similar reports, and so. But for our perspective, is there is someone flying in the airspace that no one else is allowed to fly in, and we don't know who it is, and it isn't something we have. We need to know what that is. I mean, that's. In my mind, I mean, I don't understand why we wouldn't want to know what it is. Maybe there's a completely sort of boring explanation for it, but we need to find out. And so that's really what we're asking about. And we're asking them to make public as much as possible that information. None of that really fits into the mold of classified per se.
All right, but what's your gun?
Yeah. Very interesting that he's talking about.
Are we alone in the universe?
It could be one or two things, though. I mean, this could be like it's hard to, I mean, I know that he's been fairly supportive of, like, you know, what's going on with Trump and everything. In the beginning, it was kind of uncertainty where he was, but it's hard to say exactly with all these guys, you know, and it's hard to say whether, but I think how he's approaching it is really important because he's talking about it in a way.
He talked about it from a military standpoint, and he talked about it very rational, the way that it should be looked at, the way that it should be talked about. It's like, he kept it very, I mean, how could you not understand?
Yeah. I mean, really, it's like, hey, you know, that would be cool if these are aliens, but he's suggesting, like, you know, if this is like Russia or China, then we got a serious issue, which could be if the military knows, if Trump knows, why they created Space Force.
Well, and when you have a country as devious as China,
Yeah.
they would be willing to make any sacrifice at all to get ahead technologically, which is why they're stealing all of our intellectual property. Imagine if aliens landed there and were like, nefarious aliens, and
Yeah.
were like, I'll make a deal with you. They would do anything. They'll be like, yeah, you can go ahead and kill all those people or take them up into your whatever, you know what I mean? Like, think about it.
So true.
They'll sacrifice anything to get that technology. That's what they're doing now. I mean, they have an army of hackers. you
Yep.
know?
All right, next one.
9. Jesus Christ miracle? Workers claim they found image of Messiah inside branch.
Yeah, normally this stuff I'm like, what? But this is kind of interesting.
I can't see it really, so I'm trying to... Oh, it's a video?
I don't think that's the video,
No,
Derek.
scroll down, bro.
No, there's photos. That's something completely different.
Yeah, get out of there. Scroll down. There you go. It starts... Wait, are you
Keep going
yeah,
down. Keep going down. There you go.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, normally I'm just like, ah, man, really? But this is kind of interesting. It's very detailed. It actually looks like somebody carved that in there, and it's just really interesting.
Well, and they cut it right there, and when they pulled it off, it's a mirrored image of...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was in the town of Mato Grosso in do Sul. Not really sure where that is, but...
Brazil.
In Brazil, yes.
That's crazy. Good find.
Yeah, very interesting.
Number 8.
The mega church used its Sunday service to spread QAnon conspiracies. This is awesome. So footage shows that Rock Urban Church in Granville, Michigan used its July 5th service for a nearly 10-minute video full of conspiratorial political propaganda, which suggested to people...
Congregants.
Yeah, congregants, that COVID-19 is part of an anti-Trump plot from Democratic elites. George Floyd's killing was arranged to hurt President Donald Trump and other conspiracy theories. You want to keep going?
Yeah, the video has who's who of favorite conspiracy targets like Barack Obama, Anderson Cooper, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Representative Maxine Waters, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and other so-called deep state operatives. The original video is called COVID 9/11, posted by a popular QAnon YouTuber who goes by Joe M. The video has over 986,000 views, so it has been flagged as inappropriate. They showed that at church.
It's awesome.
They're like, wait, guys. It all connects. Let's just play this.
It's like so funny because they were just like making fun of it, but I was just like, this is cool.
Oh, this is what happens when you have grassroots people who know the truth. They're going to show it at a megachurch.
It's pretty funny.
All right, it's number 7.
Yep.
Man fleeing from cops in stolen car crashes on woman driving another stolen car. An Oregon man inadvertently helped police find another thief when he crashed a stolen car into another stolen vehicle over the weekend, authorities said. Police said they were chasing the man who had stolen a Toyota Land Cruiser when the driver, identified as 27-year-old Randy Cooper, crashed into an occupied Buick Regal. The woman, who also failed a sobriety test, they're both drunk, retards, was arrested and charged with driving under influence of intoxicants and unauthorized use of motor vehicle.
People are like soulmates.
What are you saying, Derek?
Carl Roy. That's so
these
funny.
don't these two look like a budget, like a Joseph Gordon-Levitt and a budget Amanda Bynes?
Yeah, it does. Wow.
It does.
You can totally have them play that.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
C-list version of them.
That is so funny. I wonder if they're really actually going to hook up, because that is hilarious.
We met in the most precarious of ways. How did you guys meet?
Divine influence.
We crashed our stolen cars while drunk into one another. You guys make such a cute couple.
Oh man, Bonnie and Clyde.
Number 6.
Yeah, China builds subway station in the middle of nowhere. It's like,
of course they did.
New image of a Chinese subway station, literally in the middle of nowhere. show that the situation can be much stranger than anyone imagined. So the Kaohsiung station does not connect to any highways or any other modes of public transportation. As a result, anyone getting off at that stop needs to be shuttled by a van to their destination. The local government defended its decision to build the subway to nowhere as a sign of its long-term planning. So let's build a subway station first, then we'll build a city around it. Other officials in the national government, however, blame the weird situation on the fact that the road and subway construction are handled by two separate departments, government departments. So this is strange, but this is actually probably one of the ways of corruption in China. So what happens is like, oh, I need money. We'll just build a subway station. It's going to cost $4 billion.
And I'll pocket half of it.
Yep, that's exactly what happens.
Exactly.
And then their excuse is like, yeah, we'll have this and build a city. And that's why they have all these ghost towns, actually. Because,
the ghost cities.
The ghost cities, yeah, because somebody's making a ton of money off of it. And other people are really losing out. But it's just so funny, though. This is a station in the middle of nowhere. And there's people working at it. And there's like no one going there. Anyway, so
okay, ready for this next one? Number 5. Teenagers are using face masks to dress up as old people and buy alcohol. Multiple videos show underage drinkers applying white powder to their hair to mimic the graying locks of senior citizens and donning older style clothes before dropping in on the liquor store. There you go, buddy.
There's actually a video of it at the top, Derek. But yeah, this is one of the people that were one of the. Okay, that's cool. You don't have to show the video anyway. I guess that's one way to use a mask. You know, I'm still convinced that, you know, it's like everyone looks like Antifa wearing a mask, and that's probably another reason why they're doing it. But all right,
that's totally something me and my friends would have done when I was like 16. For the record,
I wouldn't have done it, but my friends were, and I would be probably in the car waiting for my friends to get in the car after they did it. My friends would definitely have done it, 100%. All right, this one's kind of interesting. YouTuber, this guy named Jonesy Jones, supposedly catches a ghost on camera. He says he got an alert from my phone. He was out of town on his Canary security webcam, and it said motion detected in the living room. And he said he had to leave town. So he said his room was like a total mess. Everyone was commenting how messed up his room is, but watch this.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah. It's
like a spirit or something floating across.
It's really crazy. I mean, he actually has 3 different videos of 3 different things. And it's hard to say, like, okay, you know, maybe this could have made it up. But his room is really messy. Like, why would you make up something like that when you're, you know?
Yeah, you can't make up how messy that guy's room is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's pretty eerie, though. It's just... Yeah, I mean, and also with the system, I don't know if, I don't know how, it is really weird. Someone's like, it looks like a meth lab. That was all the comments that he was getting on his, on this video on YouTube. Everyone's like, it looks like a meth lab. And he's just like, no, that's why he had to rewrite this. And he's like, no, it's just out of town. And, you know.
All right, number 3, bizarre fish.
There it is.
Pictured with eerily human-like teeth caught by angler in Malaysia. Oh my goodness, imagine catching that fish.
That is really, really weird.
It's so weird. Imagine catching that fish. I would destroy it right away. I would be like, ah!
I
kill it with fire.
I thought it was fake when I first saw it. I thought like, oh, this
I thought it was
like
photoshopped. Me too.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Very weird. What did this? You said.
Oh yeah, here, click on this, and then this, end with this. Click on that. No, yeah, so what somebody on Twitter did, which was quite funny of them, is they photoshopped
Hissy Chrissy with fish lips.
It actually looks like it belongs on his face.
It's like if you just kind of made the color a little bit differently, and then it's like, there you go.
So ridiculous.
Oh man, she's so weird looking. All right, this one is super weird. This bird is seen, looks like floating in midair, like frozen in midair, and it's kind of twitching. And there's a lot of people looking at this footage. So this is the weird thing. It's a video, I think, Derek, you can play it, right? Because in the photos, you can't see it. It just looks like someone took a photo and it's a bird just sitting there. There it is. Yeah. Look at this.
What the heck?
It's a bird just frozen. And it's like, it's not, I mean, everyone's looking at it. Everyone's filming it. Everyone comes out trying to figure out what the heck is going on. It's, yeah, I can't figure it out for the life of me.
What the? Is it moving or is it actually frozen?
It looked like it was, people were saying
Like
it was
twitching?
kind of twitching a little bit, motionless in air. Some viewers joked it was like a glitch in the Matrix.
That's crazy.
And it's like everyone's stopping to look at it. So it's not like this is like a, you know, photoshopped or edited in or something like that. It's really, really weird.
Yeah, how long did it stay there?
They did see, it doesn't say how long it was there for, but some people were like, maybe it was like, I don't know, man, invisible field from like 4G, 5G technology or something. People were commenting on that. Some people were like, maybe it flew into a wire and it just got stuck and you can't see the wire. But it's like, where's the wire? I don't know. Like,
I don't see a wire.
I don't see a wire
I just
either.
see a...
Well, yeah,
I know,
the wire's below it. Yeah, but I mean, you don't see a wire around it or anything.
That's really weird.
It's super weird. This is probably one of the weirdest things I've seen in a while, actually. So, someone's like, the tower glitch. Get ready for your brains to be fried.
All right,
I don't
ready?
even know.
Number one. Ted Cruz says humanity is doomed after Burger King premieres its cow fart.
Somehow I don't think cow farts are causing global warming. And like Burger King's like, we're gonna change. It's like, what the heck? Like, yeah, and then Ted Cruz just says humanity is doomed. Like, that is the funniest.
He's a funny guy, actually.
He's a really, really funny guy, and it's just like, it doesn't make any sense at all. A lot of people were. What?
Really?
Q is posting? That's crazy. He was, oh my gosh, he posted a lot.
Oh man.
Holy cow. You know, today is July 17th, you guys. This is like this is actually a pretty important
Sorry, we missed
day.
this. We would have talked about this earlier. Okay, so let's start with the first one here. Senate releases declassified docs that substantially undercut Steele dossier page FISA warrant. So it's just a link. FBI Crossfire Hurricane Unit watched Trump the day he took oath of office. Interesting.
Wait. Hold on. Which one are you looking at?
You just go down to 4581.
Hold on. Okay.
Is where it starts.
4581. Oh yeah. So this is the release of Judiciary Committee releases declassified documents that substantially undercut Steele dossier. Excuse me. The FISA warrants. This is pretty big. I'm very pleased the investigation in the Senate Judiciary Committee has been able to secure the declassification of these important documents. This is Graham. Oh, wow. I want to thank Attorney General Barr for releasing these documents and allowing the American people to judge for themselves. I don't think the documents are, oh my gosh, they are. Holy cow, you guys. This is too much to go through right now. There is a lot of stuff on this.
Okay, let's just go through generally what's here. So this FBI Crossfire Hurricane was about Peter Strzok. It's being brought up again. You should check that out. The next is CDC has been misreporting the data for coronavirus to inflate the numbers. That's the headline of post 4583. What would the primary purpose of inflating C19 numbers be? Who benefits the most? Pro-America versus anti-America. Infiltration. All assets deployed. Election, not virus. Okay. Link to new Q drop. CDC C19 data actually lower than reported, ? Why did select D, meaning Democrat, governors, for mandate nursing home, C19 positive insert, election, not virus, win by any means necessary, Q. Post 4584. CDC C19 data lower than reported. Why did select D govs mandate nursing home, C19 positive insert, election, not virus, win by any means necessary? Isn't that the same thing I just read? Sorry, it's actually excuse me for that. 4584 is doubled on qmap.pub right now. If you guys are listening, you might want to.
This is really fascinating. So did you see this Twitter? Are you clicking on the links?
No, I'm trying to read the Q, what Q is saying to everyone.
Well, okay, because these links are important. So real data, again, comparing seasonal flu deaths in Texas. And, oh, yeah, Derek pulled it up. In 2017 to 2018, and then 18 to 19 to COVID-19 deaths in 2020. And holy cow, realistically, it's like in Texas, there's more people who died in 2017 and 18 over influenza than COVID-19 in 2020 in Texas. And this is on the official state Texas website. This is like, this is the stuff that I wish the media would truly report on.
Yeah, for sure.
So basically everything's being inflated. And most likely a lot of these people, I mean, you can't even trust the test kits anyway. Trump already said that.
4585, this is Q. How do you provide cover for invalid positive test results? Think pawpaw. The swamp runs deep. The news is fake. The war is real.
So we were just talking about that, the fake tests. The pawpaw was what they did in, I forget which country, they tested the pawpaw, which is a fruit, tested positive for the virus. And New York Times says labs were contaminated, delaying coronavirus testings, officials say. The lab was contaminated.
Well, I mean, New York Times is saying that. That sounds like an excuse.
Well, no, it's because it means that how can you trust the tests anyway?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is it's like, that sounds like they're putting this out to say, like, ahead of time. You see what I mean? Making an excuse where it's not. It's been an actual like agenda for them to do this.
Yeah.
This is an excuse.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4586. How important is FL re-election, re-2020 election? One lab, possible human error. Countless labs, deliberate. Largest coordinated misdisinformation campaign ever to be published and pushed by controlled entities. Who benefits the most?
And this is the Fox News article that Q links. Coronavirus update. Florida labs not reporting negative test results. So they're only reporting. They're only reporting the ones that actually test positive. So hypothetically, if like 1 million people are tested and 200 test positive, that's a very, very low percentage.
Dude, this last one is totally insane. C19, okay, this is 4587. C19 narrative kill date, election day +1. Prepare for 0-day massive cyber power attacks attempts on 11/4. Whoa.
So, okay, what is, wow, okay, let's read this. This is that tweet. Yeah, I'm going to put this in here for our people.
Okay, safety standards and core rules for Washington state conveniently end the day after election. Is this about a virus or the election? Who benefits the most? No debates. Can Biden debate?
Let me read that again. Safety standards are in core rules for Washington state conveniently end the day after the election. So in other words, it's like after the day of the election, oh, we don't need to wear masks anymore. We everything's okay. Everything's fine. That's just really crazy. Emergency rule effect July 8th, 2020 and expires November 5th, 2020. That is crazy.
What a way to end the show. Hope you guys are still watching out there.
Man, we had so much that we talked about in this episode. There's just so like this episode is just insane.
Yeah.
Wow, that was just crazy that Q was posting during all this time. Thanks for you guys out there for letting us know. I had no idea that.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting.
I know he's been off for a while.
Yeah, so I thought that things were, you know, usually when Q goes dark, it usually means there's some kind of operation going down, and there's something happening in Germany. I didn't bring it up because I didn't really look into it, but there was a car driving by, and there was about 200 vans that were the exact same vans. There was a couple helicopters, a couple things going on, and that is where supposedly they're hunting for this dude. In that same area where they're in, there's been a huge amount of cases of missing people. So it looks like, and they're saying they're after this like one guy, but then it's like, why are 200 vans there if they're after this one guy?
Yeah, seriously.
So it looks like there's a lot of things going on right now. And Black Forest, yeah, that's it. Someone brought it up. That's exactly, yeah, near Black Forest. And thanks. And in Germany, right? So a lot of crazy things going on. I think, oh yeah, I mean, we're going to see a lot. I mean, so next week we're going to be at ECETI.
Oh yeah.
We'll have James on Tuesday. We'll have a live with James on Tuesday. We'll go live on Friday. I'm not sure what time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, but we'll be there. And
Friday is a part of the. We'll just have to go from ECETI.
Yeah, yeah. And also, one of the things, the other reason why we talked a lot about the organ harvesting is because the persecution of Falun Gong is entering its 21st year of the persecution on July 20th.
In a few days.
Which is in a few days. Yeah. So it's been going on. It started July 20th, 1999 in China. It's still going on. But it really, I think there's no coincidence that all this stuff is starting to come out around this time of July 20th. So I think next week we'll start seeing a lot of things hit the news. With all
yeah,
this.
and I just want to shout out to the Q team. Sorry we didn't see that you guys posted before. We would have put this way earlier in the show. We'll make sure we look next time before we.
Well, I didn't even think about it. I was like, yeah.
Well, he hasn't posted in quite a few days.
But so yeah, but massive cyber. Just real quick, he says massive cyber
power attacks attempts on 11/4.
So it could mean that the power may go out or something.
Yeah, try to keep it
internet
from voting
down.
Yeah, whatever. It could be anything. I mean,
prepare for 0 day.
Yeah,
that's just crazy because this is kind of some of the stuff that I've been.
I know we're gonna have to monitor this situation and try to keep you guys updated on what we're finding here.
Exactly.
All right, you guys. Anyway, it's been a crazy show. Hope you enjoyed it.
Crazy show.
If you can support us on edgeofwonder.tv, please do so. And I guess you have anything else to say?
Not really. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. It's a long show, but we got a lot going on. Put a lot in here, and
yeah, please take care of yourselves and make sure you're taking care of yourselves spiritually. Very importantly.
Yes.
Be kind to those around you, even though it's hard to red pill people sometimes.
Yeah, and shout out to all the Q Army out there doing all the work that you're doing.
Yeah, our brothers, soldiers, brothers and sisters in arms. And I guess until next time, we'll see you out
on the edge.
Hello everyone, and in Season 3 of Ascension Teachings, I'll be going into activating the pineal gland, activating the light body, dreams, psychic senses, and clearing any of that stuff that no longer serves us within the emotional body. Included in this is tips and tools to help you empower you. I'll also be going into the masters, ETs, angels, and how they're there to guide us, and that they're what we meet along the way when reconnecting to Source, and how you're your own master. Plus how all this is about connecting to the light that shines inside each and every single one of us, helping you to empower you. Hi, I'm Peter Maxwell Slattery, and I'm your host of Ascension Teachings. And I look forward to you joining me in Season 3, only on edgeofwonder.tv. I'll see you out on the edge.
Thank you, Wonder Fan. Thank you, Wonder Fans, for being wide awake and the greatest part of another WonderCast Live. And for those of you who want to go deeper still, be sure to subscribe to edgeofwonder.tv. Share, like, subscribe, and keep watch for the next notification so you don't miss a single WonderCast Live with Edge of Wonder's Ben and Rob live from New York. On behalf of Ben, Rob, and the entire Edge of Wonder staff and crew, this is another Radio Face reminder that we'll see you out on the edge.